Welcome to our Hong Kong Brief program. Today, we have an exciting lineup of news stories for you. First up, China is taking a bold step by issuing special ultra-long bonds to tackle its wall of debt. The central government plans to sell these bonds to support major national strategies and infrastructure projects, aiming for high-quality growth. This move consolidates President Xi Jinping's grip on economic planning and could potentially reduce wasteful investments. Stay tuned to find out more about this risky financial maneuver. Next, we'll take you on a fascinating tour of Hong Kong's hidden corners with City Unseen. This educational initiative explores lesser-known aspects of the city, revealing urban quirks like the ghost staircase and outdoor gyms. These walking tours aim to tell the story of Hong Kong's development and the people behind it, encouraging participants to pay more attention to their urban environments. Don't miss out on this unique urban adventure. Lastly, we delve into the world of AI and cybersecurity. Jeff Schreiner, CEO of 1Password, warns that AI is making it easier for hackers and scammers to target individuals with personalized scams. At the Collision Tech Conference in Toronto, Schreiner highlighted the increasing sophistication of these threats and urged companies to enhance their security measures. Learn more about how AI is changing the landscape of cybercrime and what you can do to protect yourself. Please stay tuned for detailed coverage of these stories and more. Thank you for watching, and please continue to stay tuned for detailed content. Reuters breaking views: the Chinese central government is issuing special ultra-long bonds to steer the $18 trillion economy towards high-quality growth. President Xi Jinping is betting that China can continue to defy a debt crisis by piling more debt onto the country's last decent balance sheet. The plan, outlined in March by the State Council, involves selling 1 trillion yuan, $138 billion, in ultra-long-dated, special sovereign bonds each year for the next several years. The proceeds will support major national strategies, including the construction of schools and hospitals in grain-producing counties and the prioritization of new industries such as semiconductors, electric vehicles, and artificial intelligence. This move aims to shift China's growth model towards domestic consumption, a green economy, and innovation. Xi's borrowing plan also seeks to address the imbalance created by a tax-sharing system that leaves local governments responsible for nearly 90% of total government expenditure, but with only about 50% of total revenue. However, the additional borrowing is riskier this time, given China's existing indebtedness and geopolitical tensions. The central government's balance sheet remains relatively tidy, with outstanding borrowings at 24% of GDP at the end of 2023. But the overall debt picture is concerning, with explicit local government debt, LGFVs, and other government funds bringing the augmented debt up to 116% of GDP. Corporate debt adds another 123% of GDP, and household debt stands at 61%, making gross debt over 300% of GDP. The potential costs of bailing out local authorities and shifting to the new growth model are why Moody's and Fitch have put China's sovereign rating on negative outlook. Nikkei Asia: with 2 weeks left before Europe's new tariffs on Chinese electric vehicles, EVs, take effect, speculation is swirling over Beijing's response. The European Commission announced it would raise the total tariff rate on Chinese EVs to up to 48% to counter unfair state support. China has vowed to resolutely retaliate, but experts suggest Beijing may avoid burning bridges with European partners given its tensions with the US. Options for retaliation appear limited, but China has hinted at potential measures, such as increasing tariffs on high-emission gasoline vehicles and launching anti-dumping investigations into EU brandy and pork. Spain, the top pork exporter to China, hopes for negotiation to avoid a trade war. German automakers, which generated about a third of their sales in China last year, are concerned about indirect retaliation. The European Commission trade spokesperson mentioned the possibility of a mutually agreeable solution to prevent the EV tariffs from taking effect. However, China seems unlikely to withdraw the identified subsidies before the July 4 deadline. The situation echoes a similar standoff in 2013 over solar panel tariffs, which ended in a deal with little protection for European solar producers. Targeting European companies operating in China could be self-defeating, as they provide jobs, tax revenues, and economic growth. A compromise might disappoint the Biden administration, which sees a strong EU industry as in the U.S. interest, but the administration has not pressured the EU to act on this issue. Nikkei Asia, the sudden deaths of 2 workers at different companies have reignited debate over the Chinese tech industry's grueling work hours and demanding corporate culture. On Monday, a woman working at the mainland China office of online retailer Shopee died at the office. Photos circulating on social media showed her lying still under an office table, surrounded by colleagues. Shopee employees mentioned it is common to work until 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. without overtime pay. The other death was of a 38-year-old senior testing engineer at iFlyTech, who died early Monday morning at home due to sudden illness. Family members have asked that the death be classified as work-related. These incidents are part of a grim trend of sudden deaths among young workers at big tech companies in China, including ByteDance, Pinduoduo, and Bilibili. The relentless practice of long working hours has led some to question the price of success in China's tech industry. Alibaba founder Jack Ma once called the 996 scheme, working 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week, a blessing. Despite the brutal working conditions, the relatively high pay in the tech sector still attracts many new recruits. Companies like PDD Holdings have instituted even longer hours, such as the 11-11-6 scheme. Competition in China's e-commerce sector is intense, with online retailers fighting for domestic and overseas markets amid an economic slowdown. The world's leading EV battery maker, CATL, recently called on employees to fight vigorously for 100 days, with reports of workers required to work from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., 6 days a week. Overtime is strictly regulated in China, but many employees work beyond legal limits in return for compensation, such as free dinners or taxi rides home. South China Morning Post. Ronald Pong, an information security management specialist, expressed his frustration over Hong Kong's slow adoption of smart city technologies, as exemplified by the resistance to Uber by local taxi drivers. Despite Hong Kong's strong digital infrastructure and innovative research capabilities, the city struggles to commercialize tech products, falling to 20th place in the Smart City Index 2024. Hong Kong's innovators, like those from the Applied Science and Technology Research Institute, ASTRI, have developed impressive technologies such as AI-powered document processors and image fusion systems. However, commercializing these innovations remains a challenge due to insufficient private investment and a lack of practical applications. Efforts like the OnePlus scheme and initiatives by private companies such as LibPet Tech smart wheelchairs show promise, but broader public acceptance and government support are crucial for Hong Kong to fully realize its smart city potential. South China Morning Post. Head coach Jevon Groves is managing his exhausted Hong Kong Sevens team as they prepare for the Olympic repechage tournament in Monaco. The team has faced a grueling schedule since August, including a narrow loss to Germany and a heart-wrenching defeat by Japan, which cost them a direct Olympic qualification. Groves has adjusted training intensity to keep his players motivated and rested, emphasizing the importance of performing well in this crucial tournament. With key players like Max Woodward returning, the team hopes to secure a spot in the Paris Olympics despite the tough competition from World Series teams like South Africa and Great Britain. The team's strategy involves gathering as many points as possible in pool matches to secure a favorable quarterfinal draw and capitalize on any opportunities that arise. South China Morning Post. WeLab, a Hong Kong-based fintech unicorn, is eyeing Southeast Asia for expansion, aiming to establish digital banks and offer technology services to conglomerates in Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand, and the Philippines. Founded by Simon Long, WeLab targets 500 million users by 2032, leveraging the region's strong demand for fintech. The company's digital bank in Indonesia, Bank Saku, has already gained 1 million users since its launch. WeLab's success, backed by investors like Li Ka-shing's Tom Group and Sequoia Capital, highlights Hong Kong's fintech development. The Hong Kong Monetary Authority's issuance of virtual bank licenses has spurred innovation, setting an example for Southeast Asia. WeLab's chairman, Chan Ka-kung, emphasized the collaborative efforts of Hong Kong's government, regulators, and industry in promoting fintech. While WeLab has no immediate plans for an IPO, it continues to grow its digital banking footprint across Asia. South China Morning Post. As the scorching effects of climate change become more pronounced, the trend of coldcations is gaining traction among holidaymakers. With extreme early summer heat and record temperatures across the northern hemisphere, travelers are reconsidering traditional beach breaks and crowded city tours. Greece, Saudi Arabia, and Thailand have seen unprecedented heat waves, with temperatures soaring above 38 degrees Celsius. The 2024 Olympics in Paris are predicted to be the hottest ever, and countries like Denmark are experiencing unusual weather patterns. This shift has led to a 100% increase in global searches for cooler holidays, with popular destinations including Banff in Canada, Queenstown in New Zealand, and Norway. Activities such as hiking, kayaking, and cold water plunges are becoming more popular. Meanwhile, eco-friendly initiatives like electric tuk-tuks in Cambodia are emerging as small steps towards sustainability, highlighting the importance of reducing our carbon footprint in the face of climate breakdown. South China Morning Post. Hong Kong's urban landscape, characterized by a mix of top-down planning and bottom-up development, is full of hidden quirks often overshadowed by its skyscrapers. City Unseen, an educational initiative, aims to uncover these features through walking tours that explore the city's evolution and the stories behind its structures. The first tour in Prince Edward, Kowloon, revealed intriguing details like the hostile architecture of bollards meant to deter homeless people but used by locals to gather. Participants also learned about a ghost staircase in a pink building, a remnant of past urban development. The tour concluded at Bishop Hill, where locals have created an outdoor gym and a makeshift shrine, illustrating the organic development of community spaces. These tours encourage residents to pay closer attention to their urban environment and its history, offering a fresh perspective on familiar surroundings. Nikkei Asia. Amid intense scrutiny following a massive money laundering bust in Singapore, some of China's wealthy families are turning to Hong Kong to manage their riches. The Monetary Authority of Singapore has rejected applications from Chinese passport holders, leading some to consider Hong Kong as an alternative for setting up family offices. Hong Kong offers a quicker setup process, taking only a few weeks, compared to over a year in Singapore. Despite concerns about Hong Kong's political alignment with Beijing, it remains an attractive destination due to its cultural similarities and residency options. Singapore is tightening its regulations to weed out bad actors, but the demand for family office tax incentives remains strong. Both cities continue to compete for wealthy Chinese investors, balancing the need to attract capital while ensuring robust anti-money laundering measures. The Globe and Mail. Jeff Schreiner, CEO of 1Password, expressed concerns at the Collision Tech Conference in Toronto about the increasing sophistication of cyber threats due to artificial intelligence. He highlighted that AI can now craft highly personalized scams, making it harder for individuals to discern the authenticity of communications. Schreiner cited a case in Hong Kong where a finance worker was tricked into transferring $25 million to fraudsters using deepfake technology. He warned that traditional cyber threats like phishing and identity theft will become more intelligent and scalable. Shiner emphasized the need for companies to enhance their cybersecurity measures beyond basic training, as AI tools could be exploited to gather and misuse sensitive information. The Toronto Star, Jeff Shiner, CEO of 1Password, warned at the Collision Conference in Toronto that AI is making cybercrime more personalized and efficient. He described a case where deepfake technology was used to impersonate a CFO, leading to a $25 million fraud. Shiner emphasized that traditional cyber threats like phishing and hacking will become more sophisticated and widespread. He urged businesses to go beyond basic cybersecurity training and equip their employees with better tools to identify and counter these threats. Shiner's remarks highlight the urgent need for enhanced security measures as AI continues to evolve and be used for malicious purposes. South China Morning Post: a 61-year-old patient at Queen Elizabeth Hospital in Hong Kong is in critical condition after a feeding tube was mistakenly inserted into his airway and left there for over 24 hours. The error occurred when a nurse reinserted the feeding tube, which was supposed to go to the patient's stomach via his nose, but it ended up in his left bronchus instead. The mistake went unnoticed until a chest X-ray was performed after the patient's condition deteriorated. Doctors immediately removed the tube and transferred the patient to the intensive care unit. The hospital has expressed regret over the incident and set up an investigatory panel to determine the cause and prevent future occurrences. Yahoo US: in a dazzling spectacle at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, Pharrell Williams presented his latest Louis Vuitton men's collection, a tribute to human diversity and excellence. The show featured a spectrum of skin tones paired with monochrome clothing, from the darkest velvet suits to milky silk topcoats. Celebrities like Central C, Sabrina Carpenter, and Victor Wembanyama were in attendance, adding to the event's star-studded ambience. Pharrell's vision extended to a full orchestra and the voices of Fire Gospel Choir, all dressed in custom Louis Vuitton outfits. The collection celebrated global dandies, with diplomats, pilots, and secret agents donning luxurious, meticulously detailed attire. The grand finale showcased an explosion of multicolored damier checks, symbolizing a global celebration. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 6Do team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets, think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 6Do Brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 6Do team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 6Do Brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website, 6dobrief.com. Regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 6Do Brief via email.